creative. The conscious mind is superior to the subjective and may consciously use it. And in fact, we're using it all the time. We may not be consciously using it, but we are using it, and it may be coming from an unconscious place. Pardon me. So that then creates the life that we're living. As great as the subconscious is, its tendency is set in motion by the conscious thought. And in this possibility lies the path to freedom. The karmic law is not kismet, right? Kismet is fate. So it's not fate, but cause and effect. It is a taskmaster to the unwise and a servant to the wise. So if we're going through this life journey and we're telling ourselves, well, it must have been God's plan. Let's go back to the beginning. There's one power, equally present everywhere, which means it's right here where I am. It's right there where you are. So in fact, you are it, and you are expressing this divine energy. It's operating through you, not to you. To you would be fate, through you is creation. Law of cause and effect. So Ernest Holmes says, if one believes in fate, they must be healed of this thought, for there's no such thing as fate. If one believes that planetary forces have anything to do with life, they must be healed of this thought. Break down everything except the recognition of the one perfect power, which is not contingent upon any place, person, condition, time of year, or anything but itself. Yes. A demonstration is made when it comes through straight from the truth. Pardon me. So when we're looking at creating something in our life, we're not going to create it by wishing and hoping and wanting. We're going to create it by getting a clear sense of what it is we truly desire. And then from there, stepping into the process of bringing that into fruition, consciously, creatively. And when we want to demonstrate something, we have to do it in a manner that allows us to be really clear about our thinking. So I found this quote online: cause and effect is the relationship between two events or situations where the cause is directly responsible for creating the effect. For instance, if someone spills gasoline on their lawn, the grass will die. The cause is spilling the gas, and the effect is the lawn dying. It wasn't fate. It's just one thing happened, and the other is the result of that happening. So as we're journeying along through this thing called life, we want to pay attention to where our thoughts go, what things we, put at the front of our mind. We want to stop waiting for life and begin to initiate life. Ernest Holmes was really, really clear about who we are and what we need to do. Break down everything except the one power, the one perfect power. When we come to an understanding that there is this power and presence that's infinite, we start to realize that because it's operating through us, that means we too have the potential for infinite creation. So why are we limited? Why are we struggling? Why are we locked in to ideas of lack or limitation? Why are we stuck with this model of, why is life so hard on me? Well, what we want to do is back that up to the first cause, and the first cause is always an idea in mind. So what is it that we're thinking about? What is it that, is going on for us? So spoiler alert, fate isn't in charge. We are. We're in charge. And anytime we sit back and go, I guess it's just my luck. No, it's not. There's something within us that has bought into an idea of limitation, that has bought into the possibility of being less than. And maybe it was a message we received as a child, or maybe it's been ongoing for who knows how many years. But the reality is, we are not subject to that. We can change our thinking and therefore change our experience. Now, if, if that were true, if fate were true, then we'd be passengers in our own life, just hoping the ride goes well, keeping our fingers crossed and our toes crossed, praying the universe is in a good mood today. No, that's not that's not how it works. Within us, there's a belief system. Now, we may or may not know what some of those beliefs are, but they're creating our reality. Because whatever I focus on expands and grows. And for the most part, so many of us tend to focus on what's wrong. We tend to focus on what isn't going right. We don't have enough money. We focus on, oh, I'm so broke. No, we're not broke. We're not broken. We're perfect, whole, and complete. So we want to begin to change some of that thinking and alter our belief in these ideas of limitation. Where's our faith? For many of us, our faith is in life's a bee and then you die. So why would we hold that as our model? I like the idea, when you think back to things like the show Aladdin and the story of Aladdin, where he finds the magic lamp and he rubs the magic lamp and a genie comes up and says, I will grant you 3 wishes. Well, we have that magic, if that's what you want to call it. It's not magic, it's that divine essence is within us. And it isn't giving us 3 wishes, it's giving us everything. What we believe we are capable of doing, we get to do. What we believe is possible for us becomes possible for us. And it will probably line up in ways we never expected, but it will always line up. We can always go back to that idea of, why am I in this position? Well, let's take a look at what's happened. What is it I believe about life? And I remember years ago when I used to go, oh, this is so hard, and that is so hard. Oh, everything was so hard. And guess what? Life was hard. And then I sat back one day and went, wait a minute, I'm telling myself everything is hard. And I get to be right. So what if I say that everything is easy? I switch the energy of that. The word has power. And the power of the word is in my control. Like, I get to use words that bring into my life experience what it is that I choose for my journey. And each one of us has that ability. Every one of us has the power to step into our life in a way that is really, really clear and concise. A place where we go, yeah, there's one perfect power, and I'm going to live from that idea. I'm not going to let the wind blow me this way or that. I'm going to stand in my conviction that this is what I know to be true. There's one power, and it's expressing through you. So there's a number of stories, and I was reading a story this morning about the goose that laid the golden egg. And, his farmer and his wife, they had this goose that laid a golden egg, and every morning there'd be one golden egg, and they became very, very rich. But then one day they thought, wait a minute, if there's one golden egg in there, then maybe it's filled with gold. So they killed the goose to look for the gold. And they lost everything. When we are looking at life and we are looking at the journey that we are on, what we need to remember is that the power works through us. It's like a conduit, that energy is flowing. Now, if we break the flow, if we step on that and squeeze it together, what happens is, well, nothing much. We become blocked or stopped. And I think sometimes we look at our lives and go, why am I feeling so stuck right now? And oftentimes when we're feeling stuck, it is because there's something within us that is saying, hey, what are we going to do here? I don't know what to do, and I don't know what is coming, and I feel scared and lost, and all of these fearful ideas, all of these things within us are creating the current reality. So we really want to check in with that thinking and begin to shift it into something that matches more of what we truly desire. Holmes said, the demonstration takes place within, not without. So, meaning there is no fate acting upon us, there is only belief acting through us. So, what do you believe? What do you believe about life? And if you want to know what you believe, look around you. Look around you. Yeah. If you're experiencing lack, if you're experiencing limitations in any way whatsoever, don't look out here for the answer. Go here, go within, and sit in the question, now what? But not a now what, but a now what, with a bit of lightness and excitement. Oh, something good is coming. And as we sit in that energy and begin to do treatment and meditation from that place of power and possibility, what happens is we start to see the patterns that may be ready for shifting. And we have the power to shift them. You see, the only person thinking your thoughts is you. The only person thinking my thoughts is me. So if my thoughts are creating my experience, or if my beliefs are creating my reality, then I have the power to change that. I have the power to begin to move that in a new way so that my life actually looks the way I would like it to look. So we do not live at the effect of life. We live at the cause of thought. Life doesn't change when conditions change. Life changes when belief changes. So take a look at your life experience and just look at, who you are and where you are, and start creating affirmations that really lift you up and move you forward. One that you might use is, I am the place where life chooses its form. I am cause, I am choice, I am creator. Like, we can go into that energy and begin to really feel it. Pardon me. Ernest Holmes wrote, if one believes in fate, then they must be healed of this thought. We have to look at changing some of these belief systems that we've got going on. And some people call us New Age, and we're actually New Thought. New Age is, about crystals and tarot and all manner of things. New Thought is about thinking, believing, the thoughts that are creating our life experience, and that's where we do our work. So we're not New Age. We are a New Thought teaching that says, I am the power in my life. Fate isn't creating me. I am, through my conscious thinking, through my ability to laugh, to love, to play. I can make a demonstration that's really wonderful. When we're doing spiritual mind treatment is scientific in that it is the act of inducing into subjectivity ideas which neutralize false images of thought and which let the truth come through into expression. That was Ernest Holmes. A treatment is scientific in that it is the act of inducing into subjectivity ideas which neutralize false images of thought and which let the truth come through into expression. So when we're doing our treatment work, we're not wishing and hoping, we're making a declaration. We're making a declaration. We're stating, hey, this is it. We speak in the first person, we speak in the present tense. And we do that because we're acknowledging that where we are, potential exists. The now moment is the place of power. That's where I am connected. So the reason we need such a science, Ernest Holmes said, is that we do not have a perfect faith. Well, we do. It's just a faith in limitation and worry and, you know, all kinds of bad things happening in threes or whatever. So we want to switch that. And how we do that is to move our attention into a place of power and possibility. So until the time comes when, a person can stand up and say to the sick, get up and walk, and have them do so, or say, there is money, and have it appear, they must take the process inducing thought for the purpose of accumulating a subjective belief in the things which they desire. And this belief, as soon as it is complete, is the demonstration. The demonstration takes place within and not without. Now, Ernest Holmes says that in a couple of places in The Science Mind, and it's so powerful that when we think about the power of our words, when we think about the words that we're using and the ways that we use them, if we're really, really clear, we begin to create a life that is joyful and harmonious and beautiful all round. When we were coming up with the name for the Universal Joy Center, one of the things that stood out for me is that my life has become more joyful as a result of this teaching. And so it made sense to talk about that. And, when we talk about spirituality, well, we are spiritual beings. It's who we are. And we are human beings, but we're spiritual having the human experience, not the other way around. And when we can begin to align our thinking with the idea that I am one with this infinite force, we begin to create something beautiful, something harmonious and wondrous and exciting. See, life is going to happen. No matter what, life is happening. But is it happening in the way that you want it to? Is it happening in the way that you imagined it could or would? Is it happening like your greatest dreams are being manifest? Or are you struggling still? And it's okay to struggle. We all do. Every one of us struggles at some point in time or another. But are we buying into the struggle, or are we looking at it going, okay, here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity for me to do treatment and begin to see a new reality appear. You see, life is for us, not against us. Life is for us. And the universe is on our side. Well, it's actually being us. So what we want to do is remember that this universal consciousness is poured into us, creating what we see and what we experience. So I invite you today to really check in with your thinking all through the week. Allow yourself to really explore whether or not you are, in fact, living in this place of power, knowing who you truly are. Or are you living in a place of fear and doubt and worry? It's just choices. And if you're in fear, don't worry, don't beat yourself up about it. Just sit back and go, oh, I could change that. Change my thinking. I change my life. I change my thinking. I change my life. I invite you to know that you are where you are as a result of the consciousness that you possess. And because of that consciousness, and because of your ability to think, you have the ability to change absolutely anything that you would like to change. Life is for you. The universe is for you. And all is well. Namaste.
Now is the time to join our voices and attune to the infinite flow of universal abundance. Understanding that giving is not a diminishment, but a radiant expression of love and energy in motion. In this sacred moment of gratitude and openness, we invite you to give from the heart, trusting that every act of generosity ripples outward and returns enriched. So please, together, let's affirm the ever-present truth of prosperity and joy with our abundance affirmation. As I give, so I receive. My good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. I am blessed. Blessings abound for all life everywhere. I am grateful. And now let's listen to Barbara give her blessing. Oh, sorry. As a charitable organization, we offer many ways for you to support your spiritual community. You can scan this QR code. You can do an e-transfer to admin@ujoyc.ca. You can click on donate on our website at ujoyc.ca, or you can mail a check to Universal Joy Center at 28 Sir Raymond Drive, Toronto, Ontario, M1E 1C2.
Well, let us join together in consciousness as we gratefully accept the blessings that are being sent in at this time and shared at this time. My heart is filled with gratitude for the beauty of life itself. And I'm truly grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for the abundance that is shared. I'm grateful for the journey that we walk and the love that is ever present. As I take this moment to open my mind and heart, I am filled with a deep sense of appreciation and gratitude. For life is happening through me in beautiful, expressive, and dynamic ways. Gratefully, I just say yes to all of it and know that all is in perfect order. With a grateful heart, I let it be.